Dire Radiant team. One of the heroes experienced some technical difficulties.
Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu, and I'm bringing you guys the second game here in the JDL. This is going to be Sad Gaming BR versus F-Logic, because why not? This is going to be the second game in the series. Like I said, if you guys didn't see the first game, it was crazy as crap. You guys should go check it out. It was pretty amazing, pretty impressive game, if I don't say so myself. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this one. This is going to be Sad Gaming BR versus F-Logic. And if you guys haven't seen the first game, this is your last chance to go see it. So, alright, cool, your time's up. And we're gonna go ahead and just talk about the last game for a moment, because last game was really crazy. Sad Gaming, they had the advantage for a very long time, but F-Logic were able to win that one team fight that helped them win the game. I definitely counted their lineup out from the start. I will go ahead and admit that, from F-Logic, where they had Alchemist kind of being the only carry there. But they had a lot of people who really benefited from Aghanim Scepter, which worked out really well in their lineup, because Alchemist got so rich, it was ridiculous. And Sad Gaming, they had a really amazing start. They had a really okay mid game, but it just came down to like the last fight. They had like 5 different last fights, but the last fight actually caused them a lot of issues. And yeah, it just came down to it's one of those things where like whoever wins the last team fight is whoever wins the game. Like if you can win the team fight and push, that's it. That's what it came down to. So congrats to F-Logic, and oh my gosh, Facebook. Sorry, who's that guy?
Reserve time.
I have too many tabs open. Man, how do you know where Facebook is? I know it exists somewhere. Anyway, so let me go and focus on the game right now, because I saw that Death Rob was banned out. Death Rob really annoying to have in the game. If you can avoid getting her there, it's always good to have her banned out. And moving over to the rest of the other bans, we have an OD and a Vengeful Spirit getting banned by F-Logic. I don't think Vengeful Spirit is the one who caused in the most issues. I do think the swaps were pretty nice coming out from F-Logic, because they did have the VS, if I'm not mistaken. They also had the Alchemist too. So I mean, I'm trying to figure out the logic behind banning Vengeful Spirit. Maybe they want to try to open the pool up for someone like an Invoker to be in there, and he is, so he gets picked up first by F-Logic. Just having an annoying support gun, I guess, is a really good idea. And Sad Gaming, they actually banned out the Witch Doctor, so both sides just kind of doing the thing they did before, banning out the thing that worked for them relatively well last game, so that way they don't have to face it. And now that I think about it, the Casket works really well versus the Lone Druid, and also I guess to a certain extent, Vengeful Spirit Stun can help them blow up Invoker. So all things considered, I guess these bans make sense. But overall, the Lone Druid does get put into the game, so Sad Gaming will be able to take a run at that, just go ahead and have a go at it. And the Invoker gets picked up by F-Logic, so we're probably going to see a Quas Exort Invoker, where we see the Quas Exort Invoker just run around and just wreck stuff. Of course, my still all-time favorite is Quas Wex Invoker. So Quas Wex Invoker in general is my super favorite one. He can just basically run around and just do all kinds of shenanigans, blow people up, be an assassin, so to speak. But unfortunately, Quas Exort is the more stable, more important one, more prominent one, so to speak. And Faceless Void gets picked up by F-Logic this time around, so we're gonna see them try to handle that Faceless, handle that Void, see how they do with it. They had the Invoker to help back it up, so Invoker can actually blow people up in the Chronosphere. And it's really nice to see Invoker and Faceless Void finally in a game. Not a lot of people pick up Faceless Void nowadays, and it makes me a little bit sad because I'm a huge Faceless Void fanboy. And also on the side of Invoker, he usually gets banned out a lot. And oh my gosh, sorry, there we go, overlay switch, my bad guys. Yeah, so Invoker kind of gets banned out a ton, so that causes a lot of issues as far as him getting picked up. But for the most part, I'm okay with Faceless Void getting picked up. I'm okay with Invoker getting picked up. And Sad Gaming, they go for the Lich. Lich did work out relatively well for them overall. Or sorry, well, actually, Lich was on the other side. Lich worked out relatively well for F-Logic when they were on the dire side. And looks like Sad Gaming are going to go ahead and have a go at it. This kind of tells me that maybe they just want to flat out win a lane. So they want to send Lone Druid maybe to the off lane and have Lich just deny creeps all day, so that way Lich can hold the tower and make sure it doesn't die. So I guess it's going to work out pretty well for him. We got a Morphling getting banned out by F-Logic side. Trying to think of some benefits of Morphling. Can't really think of any. Really slippery. Split push Dota is kind of his thing. And I think in the last game, F-Logic kind of proved that they're okay with doing, or sorry, Sad Gaming pretty much proved that they're okay with doing some rat Dota or doing some split push Dota, where they can just kind of split push like a baller and then have their team reconvene together and go for the kills. And a Sad Gaming surprisingly banned out of the Jakiro. Wow, interesting. Yeah, okay, I see, that makes sense. So having the Jakiro plus the Faceless Void is a really nice combination, so that'll help out a lot. So having him banned out is some guaranteed damage. And also Jakiro mids. I've been seeing a lot of Jakiro mids, and it's actually pretty darn strong. If you can push the towers down early enough, it's strong. If you can create the space, then it's strong. Otherwise, it just kind of falls flat on its face. And speaking of faces, we got Slaughter getting banned out by the side of F Logic, so he ain't gonna be in your face, punching on people, and slamming your kids into the ground, because that's what he does. Dashes their head across the ground, and blood everywhere, just guts. The glory. Oh, sorry, the gory mess. But Slaughter gets banned out by F Logic's side. That means that there's going to be no amplified damage to spot out the Invoker, or maybe even amplified damage to go against whoever the carry decides to be. And that also tells me maybe they're thinking about a bounty. We saw last game around there was actually a ban on a bounty hunter by I think F Logic. So maybe F Logic wants to pick up a bounty in this game. Maybe they want to have some shenanigans going on in that aspect, or maybe they want to go with somebody who does work relatively well with the invis. But as their lineup kind of sits, they can fit into pretty much any modern day lineup with the Faceless Void in the off lane, and the Invoker will be playing the mid. So they have 2 of their 3 cores, and we're likely going to see some supports, and maybe even a jungler come out from F Logic. I would like to see an Enchantress. I'm just going to throw it out there before it happens. I would like to see an Enchantress this game. That would be pretty amazing. But yeah, continuing with everything else, Gark up to the last ban on SAG Gaming side, so no Deathball split, or no Deathball meta is going to be pushed even harder than SAG Gaming can push their Deathball meta, even though they have Lone Druid, who I think is kind of like the pinnacle of Deathball meta. Like, if you have Lone Druid plus his supports backing him up, and plus his whole entire team, just pushing together, you can just wreck stuff. And speaking of wrecking stuff, we got a Sven getting picked up. I don't know if you guys have ever watched me cast or commentate before, but you should know by now that I'm a huge fan of Sven. Sven's abilities are pretty darn nice, especially when you couple them with someone like a Darkseer. And right now, SAG Gaming are in prime position to pick up a Darkseer. It's going to make their lineup shift a little bit. Lone Druid will be playing Suicide safe lane by himself, and Darkseer will be playing the Suicide lane all by himself as well. Where Lich can do some denies in the safe lane, make sure Lone Druid doesn't die too often. But for the most part, I think it will work out really well if they did get something like a Darkseer to synergize really well with their team. I did speak on SAG Gaming's lineup last time that they had a lot more synergy than F Logic did relative to like just raw abilities. So I think SAG Gaming are always thinking about the synergy between the lineups. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we can see a Darkseer, because it would be really cool to see a Darkseer. And F Logic actually pick up a Shadow Shaman, somebody who's a wow, Shadow Shaman. So many things I can say about him. For the most part with Shadow Shaman, he can push relatively well. He can basically just drop his ult and die, and he'll be happy. But if he can get his stuns off, it will be a huge deal. And having Shackles versus Lone Druid's bear is going to be a gigantic deal. Being able to kill that bear and just get 300 gold for whoever gets a kill is going to be definitely worthwhile a lot of times for Shadow Shaman and his crew. So expect to see the bear die a few times because of the shackles. They do last for so freaking long. It's like basically 2 seconds at level 1. Just to give you guys some perspective, Sven's stun lasts for 2 seconds at all levels. So Shadow Shaman, if he could channel his full ult at level 7, if he maxes out shackles first for some reason, then it's going to be a whole entire 5 seconds worth of stun plus 360 damage over the whole entire duration. That bear might die, or that bear will die a few times this game. That is beyond an absolute fact. Moving over to everything else. Moving over to everything else in the game. Puck did get picked up for SAG Gaming BR. Puck can play off lane. She can also play mid. I think nowadays she's not as strong of a mid as she used to be. Excuse me, not as strong of a mid as she used to be, mainly because Puck can't really be as evasive, or something with the orb. Something got nerfed and people just stopped liking her altogether. I think it might have been the way her waning rift works. I think it doesn't mute. Hold on. Yeah, silences nearby enemies. Okay, for some reason somebody said that silences creeps now, but I think it silences creeps in addition to it. Anyway, all that aside, SAG Gaming, they do ban out the Darkseer, so that way no wombo combo shall be had. But with the Disruptor getting picked up by F Logic, that's a good second guess. I mean, still, don't forget a Magnus is in the pool right now, and having a Magnus run in the mid and let Faceless Void, or sorry, let Invoker plus Shadow Shaman and Disruptor run in the safe lane, that can definitely work out really well. So Magnus is still in the pool. Magnus is still available for F Logic to pick up, and I think Magnus does relatively well versus Puck. She can dodge his shockwaves for only but so long, and Ogre Magic actually becomes the last pickup for SAG Gaming. So, just trying to think of their lineup. So it looks like they're trying to bank on the Sven getting big enough to help them carry the team, and they'll have Lone Druid as an auxiliary carry as well. So Sven definitely playing to carry this game. But having the Ogre Magic, giving the Bloodlust to both the bear and Sven himself, that could be very, very, very deadly. And I expect to see SAG Gaming just be really aggressive, really in your face, and try to get as many kills as possible. I'm just a little bit concerned about how long it's going to take Puck to get a Blink Dagger. I do think the lineup for Sad Gaming is going to be reliant strongly on Puck's Blink Dagger play. Yeah, sure, Lone Druid can get a solo pull, or sorry, can go to a very fast lead by himself. And yeah, sure, it's Finn, if he can get the Ruinous Farm, he can become super big and become a big problem. But this mid-game is going to be a little bit rough, in my honest opinion, for Sad Gaming, because you have to worry about the Invoker, who's always going to be there dropping the Sunstrikes. You have to worry about the Faceless Void, whose Chronosphere can get himself a solo kill. And you also have to worry about, to a certain extent, the Shadow Shaman, because once he hits level 6, I'm pretty sure his whole entire team is just going to say push, push, push. And now you got the Ember Spear, you got split push happening down your throat, out the galls, and it's going to be really, really, really painful. Really painful for Sad Gaming to try to deal with this, so... I expect to see Ember Spirit go for Booster Travel first, so he can continue to split push, and then we might see Shadow Shaman get a fast level 6. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see what craziness we see in this game. But for now, guys and gals, we're gonna see ourselves some Dota, some Dots, Dodos, Dodas, Doty-doos, Doodada-doos, Dota. Wait, can I change this while it's going? I might break my stream. Alright, let's do this. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're gonna, this is the final lineup. Overall, I like the lineup coming out from Sad Gaming BR, mainly because I think, when it comes to Deathball meta, it's gonna work out really well. F-Logic, they had the Invoker, they had the Faceless Void who can help out as far as locking down people, and they also had the Disruptor who's really, really, truly a teamfight monster, if he can get his ulti off. But all that said and done, I don't know if if Disruptor's ever gonna hit level 6 anytime soon. I've seen a few games where Disruptor was put in the game, and let me tell you, it took him about 14-15 minutes to hit level 6. That's pretty sad. But overall, if they manage to get the level 6 on Disruptor, they can have some really amazing fights, of course. But I still think it's going to be a very, very, very hard fought thing. Like, we're going to have to bite our tongues for that one. I'm just saying, we're probably not going to see Disruptor do the greatest in the world. But at the end of the day, though, I'm just trying to think, because, I mean, I'm a huge fanboy of Shadow Shaman. I'm a huge fanboy of Shadow Shaman, but I'm just not sure. I guess Shadow Shaman Disruptor has some good synergy, so Disruptor drops the wall. Disruptor drops the wall, he also drops his ulti, Shadow Shaman drops his ulti, and then damage happens. So they had some good synergy with that, but just, oh man, I just like Sad's Deathball better. Let me put it that way. There's the ability to blow people up in the Faceless Void's Chronosphere. There's the ability for Invoker to get a nice +1 kill whenever he goes for stuff. But whenever it comes down to it, just the Deathball meta is just so strong right now. I just can't really speak on, I just can't really count out the simple fact that there's a Lone Druid and a Spindle in the same lineup. And plus you have to Ogre Mount to Bloodless. This might be a gross game. This might be a gross game. And F-Logic are pinging towers right now, or sorry, Sad are pinging towers saying, hey, protect your towers, bro, split push. Now they're pinging all the other towers. And okay, they're just, oh, okay. Alright, this is happening. It's happening, boys! It's happening. So many pings. So many things. Alright, so while we're waiting for all this to go through, let me go and introduce the players. Starting off on the side of F-Logic side, while we have the beautiful timeline to do this. We have Ember Spirit being controlled by Bring Back Zio, or Zal 8. Moving to the Faceless Void, we have Tiswo playing that Faceless Void, and Disruptor is being controlled by the, wow, whoa, okay Disruptor, I'm gonna need you to calm down, bro. Look at this, he ain't touching the ground, what the heck? Anyway, Disruptor is being controlled by Elvis Chulo 2.0. And Shadow Shaman is being controlled by the one and only Samus Prime. Look at that. Look at that. Like Samus Prime. I like that mask. That's a nice mask. And Invoker is being controlled by... Wow, look at the hair, though. Whoa. Invoker is being controlled by Milo. So Milo will be taking that... Okay, you're not Invoker. Alright, Faceless Void. I'm gonna need you to calm down, bro. Yeah, Faceless Void is being controlled by Milo with that nice, amazing hair. Look at that hair, though. Alright, hold on, live stream's having issues. My bad, guys. Let's see if we can catch up. Oh, I think I know why. Shoot. I think I have something running in the background. Darn.
Now where were we?
Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Alright, so for right now, let's go ahead and try to worry about the game. Moving on to everything in the game, the game is officially going to go ahead and start back up. Both sides are going to keep going through. I do need to introduce Sad Side, so on Sad Side, on this Ogre Magi, or Ogre Magi, like I like to call him, we see Kepler playing that Ogre Magi. Sven is being controlled by the one and only Dear DHK. And we got Puck, bro, there you are. Puck being controlled by twitch.tv/Zacko12, correct. So go check that out. And of course, don't check out yet. Go check it out after you finish watching this. We got Hugo handling that Lich, or like, as some people like to call him. And we got Lone Druid being controlled by the one and only PL15. And that's going to be it for the whole entire callouts. I think I called out both sides. So we're just going to see what both sides are doing. We're just kind of relaxing in their respective jungles. Just trying to have a little bit of fun. And let me adjust all my settings here.
30 seconds to battle.
So I'm taking a huge hit right now. Alright, okay. Sorry, it's taking a huge hit as far as performance-wise. I gotta go test it out a little bit later. Anyway, I'll test it out later. You guys probably saw it with the whole dropping frame thing, you know. LOL, JK. CulBlu, toaster computer. Alright, so moving into the game, while we have everything moving smoothly for now. And oh man, this actually looks a lot different. Kinda hurts my eyes a little bit. So GLHF coming up from the Ember Spirit, just being a very nice, good sportsman, or sportswoman, whoever's playing that, whoever's controlling that person.
Whose side was I on again?
And we're just gonna go ahead and see ourselves some Dota get played. We got the lanes rotating in. Puck gonna be playing the mid, and they're both gonna be reaching the mid. Puck gonna get a better block overall, but Invoker, he's gonna be heading out mid as well, going for the straight up Exort. Probably dropped the Sunstrike before I saw it. Meanwhile, Lone Druid will be playing all alone by his lonesome, using the bear to try to go ahead and pull some creeps. And like I said, the shackles from Shadow Shaman are pretty darn strong. The bear will be going down. The first death of the bear. Lone Druid does fortunately have another buyback. So Shadow Shaman and Disruptor able to take care of the bear. Two whole entire things were used. And I think okay. And I think Shadow Shaman pretty happy about that. Just writing on the minimap, just a few words of inspiration for himself. Moving into the lane matchups though, we got Faces Void hanging on the off lane all by himself, taking quite a bit of damage already. Ogre Magi just being really annoying with that Ignite plus some right clicks. Not really much that Faces Void can do except for just stand there and let it burn. Speaking of stand there, let it burn, Sven did drop himself a stun, has a mango available, so he can actually drop a follow-up stun if they do think they can get the kill on T-Swell. But T-Swell going to go ahead and try to trade some right clicks with the Ogre Magi. He will be able to backtrack a lot of this damage. Actually, not a ton. They're just going to go straight for it. They're going for it. It's happening. Okay, Sven. Alright, Sven's like, yo, bro, I need you to chill. So Sven's going to walk forward. Mango's still available, though, so he has to be very careful about that. So this is going to happen. Anyway, down bottom. Damn it, guys. They do get the first blood on top of Lone Druid. I was expecting to see the Shadow Shot, or expecting to see the Face of Void go down. But looks like they did decide to play patient. First blood does go the way of F Logic and CulBlu, classically missing the whole entire thing. It does go down on Ember Spirit, so he did fall. Actually, sorry, not Ember Spirit. What? No, stop that. Sorry, it does go down on top of Lone Druid, and actually missing kills back and forth, left and right. Invoker trying to go for a dive on top of the Puck. Puck probably used a Fairy Fire to keep himself alive. Looks like yes. No, Invoker used a Fairy Fire, and so did Puck. Fortunately, Puck gets more healing from the Fairy Fire because she's a Fairy. And speaking of being a Fairy, Face of Void first hit bash. Bro, are you crazy right now? And T-Swell can actually be in a relatively bad spot. They can actually turn around and go for the kill. Looks like Face of Void going to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Ogre Magi. The Illusion's helping out a lot. Face of Void scouting out the Puck and just trying to zone him out. Zone him out with that solo Illusion. And now Puck will be forced to go with the fisticuffs to the Faces Void. Alright, so my mantra right now is to go ahead and miss no more kills. And as I say that, we see some damage coming up top. We got Lich doing a little bit of damage to that Illusion, just trying to make sure it doesn't do anything crazy. And the tri-lane coming on top, and Sven's been relatively safe, hasn't really been facing much damage. Faces Void has been really bothered by the Ogre Magi, who only has 8 armor, by the way, with no items, practically no items, level 2 8 armor. It's pretty ridiculous. Pretty dang ridiculous. And the creep's gonna come through. Shadow Shaman has his shackles available. Lone Druid gonna go ahead and use his bear to farm up in the jungle because why not? Best way to farm while you're Lone Druid. So PL15 will not be denied farm. Speaking of being denied farm, T-Swell actually hanging out in the trees. Ogre Magi does see him, gonna go and burn him up a little bit, and Sven has a stun available, not gonna toss it, instead just gonna threaten with it. And does force the Faces Void back. Moving back to mid, Invoker versus Puck. Fight still going through. And Shadow Shaman actually coming in. They want to go for a kill. Shadow Shaman has a smoke of deceit getting used on him. Puck trying to heal himself up with the bottle charges, and Shadow Shaman going to walk around the corner. I don't think there's any observer coming out for Puck and crew. So sad. They might know about this, but I think I'm pretty sure. Zika. Oh no, Zika doesn't know. He actually dropped the orb in the wrong direction. Invoker and crew can actually turn on the kills, and Disruptor shows up. Shadow Shaman coming from the middle of nowhere. Shackle's falling. Puck is pretty much dead. That orb went in the wrong direction, and they used the glimpse just to make sure it happened. So Puck gonna be able to get himself that solo, or gonna be able to die in the whole entire engagement. That kill does go towards Disruptor. So TPing in from Disruptor. Shadow Shaman already around the corner in position to get the kill, and sufficiently wrecked. Sufficiently wrecked. That's what that Puck was. Speaking of being sufficiently wrecked, we got Ticho forced to walk back in time because he does not want to get caught up in a bad spot. Sven's stun should be available here soon. He just continuously threatened with that. I think he threw out one a little while ago. Or actually, probably has. Yeah, he threw out one a little while ago. Continues to threaten with that. Has a mango available, so that means he always has a stun at the ready. So Faceless Void needs to be very careful about that. Do not want to get cut off with the burn damage plus a stun to where you can't backtrack that damage you took from there. Speaking of damage you took from there, Lone Druid, he's sitting at level 4 right now, able to farm with the creeps in the jungle, so sitting relatively even with the Ember Spirit. He does have less last hits than him overall. He does also have less gold overall, but at the very least he's able to get some farm, and he hasn't lost his life. Actually, he's lost his life once. Meanwhile, the bears are going to lose his life very, very soon. Lone Druid has another resummon. Chicken getting used on top of the bear, and Lone Druid going to use the roar to force these guys back. And speaking of force these guys back, Faceless Void getting forced back, and both offlaners essentially having a rough time. Overall, Faceless Void having a slightly worse time. Lone Druid does have the benefit of being able to farm relatively easy because of the bear. And actually, oh, we got Ogre Magi coming forward. They're going to go for it. Disruptor shows up with the damage. It has a glimpse available. Going to be able to drop the glimpse. Unfortunately, Ogre Magi didn't walk that far. It looks like he's going to take some damage. Finn showing up with the stun. Stun flies. They get the hit on top of the Disruptor. Disruptor does officially go down. Shadow Shaman dropping the chicken on top of the Ogre Magi. He goes down. And now Samus Prime going to be forced to back away. If he had a shackle, they might be able to get a follow kill on top of the Lich, but that's really, I mean, it's wishful thinking at this point. Mango officially getting eaten by the Sven. Sven does have himself a Helmet of Dominator, plus he has himself a nice little Sator Tormentor. Probably gonna go torment some creeps and torment some ancients and start stacking. Speaking of stacking, a Shadow Shaman around the corner. I don't know if Puck saw that, but there's an Observer Ward around the corner. Now Invoker's gonna go straight for the damage. Shadow Shaman's following up. He's actually gonna get the shackles just in time. Puck does go down. Well played, well timed as well. So overall, Puck not having nearly enough time to actually do what she wants to do. And bottom lane completely free for Lone Druid to go ahead and deal with. He did have the Shadow Shaman and also Disruptor roam out of lane, and I think the Ember Spirit was forced back home. And that's basically it. So yeah. So Disruptor smoking the seeds up on his pockets. And as far as the lane matchups go, I mean, Puck versus Invoker, I think in general we all expect Invoker to win that lane. And by we, I mean it's generally accepted that Invoker's just probably going to win the lane. So having the support Ogre Magi here just to help out the Puck is useful. Also keep in mind the rotations from Shadow Shaman have been pretty much on point. Exactly what you would want from a Shadow Shaman, just coming around the corner. Every once in a while just come around the corner, make sure you keep Puck honest and get a stun or two. And so far he's gotten 2 kills, and Puck has not been having the best of times. But just as long as Puck can get that Blink Dagger and drop that Blink Coil, then that's all we really care about, right? Meanwhile, Disruptor scouting out the Sator Tormentor. I think the Observer Ward did get scouted. Or the Sentry Ward did get scouted. Yeah, they're blocking the camp. Make sure no more stacks happen. So we'll see if they can actually de-ward that. Meanwhile, top lane, Finn still trying to continue to farm. Gonna get some right-click damage on top of Tijuo. And does force him back. Looks like Lone Druid. Lone Druid gonna continue to farm. About to lose the bear. Oh no, he lost the bear. Gonna go ahead and resummon, because why not? Meanwhile, I hear Disruptor wall. They're gonna go on top of the Puck. Puck does not go down this time. Actually, Disruptor dies, and Shadow Shaman trying to rotate in for the help. It looks like he does rotate in a little bit too late. And actually, yes, he can come back in. Invoker and crew, they might be able to get the kill on top of Puck. Puck does get immediately turned into a chicken. Here comes a Shackle follow up. The Shackle does follow up. Sunstrike coming through. TP support galore coming in, and Puck gonna be able to phase shift out. Gonna continue the fight. Drops himself a magic wand. Not enough damage to actually do anything, but Invoker does die at the end of the day. So definitely a trade of kills going in favor of F Logic to a certain extent, because Invoker did get the XP. That's kind of what he cares about the most, but he did still lose his life. The TP support's coming in just in time to help him get the pick off on top of Invoker. And we saw, yeah, the magic stick was just enough to help keep Puck alive long enough to bait the Invoker to staying in. And there he is, not having the best of times. Speaking of not having the best of times, we got Lone Druid down bottom having a great time. The bear has himself a whole entire hand of or glove of haste. Midas looks like it's going to be the pickup for the Lone Druid. Gonna go and drop that ulti for some additional berry cool stuff. Berry cool stuff? Some berry cool stuff? I don't know, I was just trying to make that cool. I guess I can't make that hip, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not cool enough for you. So Midas into Radiance Bear is likely the build for Lone Druid. That's looking like it was shaping up to be. Svensson has 63 last hits, so pretty much all the creeps that he wants, he can get. He has himself a whole entire Helmet Dominator. He's sitting pretty fantastic. His lane has been pretty much not a challenge. I do think he's probably going to see soon where Faceless Void jumps forward and drops a Chrono to try to get a solo kill. So we're probably going to see some supports rotate up top just to keep him alive and steady. Speaking of support, Shadow Shaman actually rotating up top. His ulti is available. He's actually relatively low on HP, so he needs to be a little bit careful. About halfway on the HP bar. And both sides just kind of sitting back, respecting each other, giving each other the space necessary to continue to farm. That's kind of what this game has been broken down into. Outside of the few kills we saw happen for our mid, actually, we see a few more kills. Invoker actually turns invisible immediately. Death's Appearance coming out for Ogre Master. Nice heads up play. TP support coming in from Disruptor, and he looks like he's going to be able to drop himself a wall or something. He can't get any kill. Puck not going to be getting caught up. Looks like Ogre Master will be the one to go down, so casualty of war. Another TP coming in for the Faceless Void. He wants to help out with the kills, try to get some XP, try to get some gold. He will be able to come in. Teachbo going to walk forward, and are they going to be able to get the kill? Chronosphere is forced out. They will use it to get the kill. And unfortunately, that's going to be it. Oh no, Puck getting some damage. The Disruptor does immediately go down, and Puck could have potentially gotten the kill on top of the Faceless Void, but looks like no. She decided to go ahead and back away, just be as safe as possible. And a ward. Oh no, the rune. Shadow Shaman showing up like, surprise, sucker. It looks like they do catch out the Puck. Shadow Shaman available. Gonna drop the shackle. No, he gets silenced up before it happens. And Faceless Void actually almost took enough damage to go down. So it was almost a good play. Puck really quick on those trigger fingers. Able to drop herself the nice little silence. Make sure Shadow Shaman can't drop the shackles. Meanwhile, Lich up top, level 7 already. Sven still having the best of times. Safest lane he's ever been in. He's going to have himself about 1k gold. I'm pretty sure he's going for Sanjin Yasha next. Has a Helmet Dominator fully finished up. Meanwhile, Lone Druid down bottom. Hang out with the bear. And, well, wow. Okay. Nice chunk of damage coming on top of Ember Spirit. Yeah, Lone Druid did go for the Hand of Midas. Probably looking to go for Radiance next. And you know, I still kind of miss the old school Lone Druid builds, where Lone Druids would go for Hand of Midas Melnir. I like those builds. Those builds are really cool. Just get all the attack speed for the bear and just do massive amounts of right-click damage. Of course, this is also the time period where... Oh, hold on. Before we talk about that, we got Lone Druid in a little bit of trouble. Going to be forced back. Disruptor has a glimpse available. So it's like the roar is going to be used to force the Disruptor away. But now here comes Faceless Void. They do have the vision necessary. Lone Druid going to go ahead and try to stand and fight. He will be able to get some damage on top of whoever this is. And Samus Prime, he's going to be going down. And Sunstrike coming from Invoker trying to help out Lone Druid. He is actually almost to make it out alive. But looks like he does get forced back by the glimpse. A little bit too strong. The bear is just doing all the work necessary. But looks like Ember Spirit going to be able to kill with the AoE. Lone Druid going to be falling down into the ground. Meanwhile, top lane is getting pushed in. Top lane is going to get pushed in, taking enough damage to go down, and it's going to be the first tower of the game getting claimed. Sven and crew going to continue to push because why not? And is Sven going for a Blink Dagger next? Huh. So something's happened mid. Invoker versus the Puck. I see a ping coming mid on yellow. Looks like Sven. Maybe Sven wants to go for the kill. Blink Dagger purchased up by Puck. Sven's still saving up quite a bit of gold. Like I said, I don't know if Sven's going to be going for the Blink Dagger or going for drums or Sanjin Yasha. He's saving up quite a bit of gold though. Now Faceless Void drops a Chronosphere on top of the Puck. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get the kill, but she's going to be forced back away. Nice Sunstrike coming out from... Oh no, the Sunstrike just barely missed. Sunstrike just barely missed. It was almost there. If it would have happened just maybe a split second earlier, they might have gotten the kill, but Puck going to be able to be evasive and elude the damage. Would that have been enough to kill too? Oh yeah, that definitely would have been enough to kill. It's 350 pure damage, and Puck now has about 450 before she hit the fountain. So yeah, that'd have been some pretty intense damage. She would definitely should have went down on that one. But a little bit late on the timing, but hey, it happens. Can't win them all. And we got Hand of Midas up on Invoker. We also have a Hand of Midas up on Lone Druid's Bear. So the bear will be trying to get all the farm possible, trying to get all the damage possible, just be as happy as he can. It looks like Faceless Void, looks like Lone Druid and his bear, and the Alpha Wolf will go ahead and just punch himself. Punch himself some Ancients because they're happy. Meanwhile, I hear Shadow Shaman. Alright, see Shadow Shaman taking damage. She's going to be forced back. Puck getting glimpsed back into a relatively not as bad spot as she was before, so she's okay. But Lich has been farming all by himself, so I don't know if this means that they're trying to give priority farm to the Lich and make sure that he can get an Aghanim Scepter. But if so, that'd be great because they do have some cool instances where they can use it. I do oh man, Puck blinking a meal on top of the Invoker, just taking a nice little chunk of damage. It's gonna be forced back. Just doing some harassment overall. Just show him who's in charge. You know, that's what she does. That's what Puck does. And Handamitis got picked up by Faceless Void too, so that's 2 Handamitises on F Logic side. They are investing in the late game, which is really strange. I've seen a lot of teams go toe to toe with Lone Druids late game, and they did perfectly fine, like no issues at all. But overall, I'm always a little bit skeptical of teams that want to go late game with Lone Druid because I feel like Lone Druid has the advantage. He and his bear can rip down towers so darn easily that it just kind of makes it a very scary thing. Like if you just lose one team fight, then you're pretty much all wrecked, all gone. Speaking of being all wrecked and all gone, we got Lich forced to run away. He's actually trying to get a little bit more damage. He just goes back to the middle of the fight. Where you going, bro? He goes down, but Shadow Shaman Surfer Wars were committed for this. He does officially go down, and it looks like the Puck will be backing away. Alpha Wolf trying to body block. Faces Void gets the Chronosphere off, and there's Disruptor ulti as well. Make sure Puck can't get out of there. And they do get the damage necessary to get the kill, and they're going to try to convert this to a tower. Even though the Surfer Wars aren't the best of spots, they do still have the advantage, numbers advantage at least. They can get the right click off on top of those towers. Speaking of right click, we got Lone Druid going toe to toe with the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit did get forced back, so he will be going down. Or sorry, he will be forced back to be careful, basically. Doesn't want to go down. And mid tower does go down at the end of the day. And Invoker, Tornado Stick, Yule Scepter, Divinity, going to be the main item. And take a look at the goal graph. We see that it's basically in favor of Sad, to be expected. His team, basically his Finn, has been farming pretty much all by themselves, or all by himself, without many problems. I don't think he's really been involved in any fights. Has 1 kill to his name, so yeah, he's basically an anti-mage right now. Minus the whole I'm gonna blink around. Nope, instead Finn's going to take the long and hard path and be committed with the walking game. I still want to see him get a Blink Dagger though. I do think he should get a Blink Dagger before Sanji Yasha. Anyway, bottom tower is going to get pushed in. They're going to try to get as much space as possible on the side of F Logic's side. We have the Faceless Void on the back lines. He's waiting for it. He's ready to go and push in. And if they want to try to TP in and try to defend, they will all go down. Looks like they smoke up immediately. Going to go straight for the Ancient stack. They have Observer War scouting it out. They see that they are farming their Aegis. Or so they are farming the Ancients. There's Lone Druid and crew. They will be getting scouted out here in a second. Smoke is officially broken. Lone Druid in a little bit of trouble. Lich going to back away. Has ulti available in 6 seconds, so if he can just keep his ulti available right now, he'll be fine. It will be a beautiful ult for him to actually drop out. He will be able to drop it here in a beautiful spot. Drops out the ulti. Going to be bounced on top of 1. Bounces on top of 2. The bounces are real right now. The massive damage is there. Ember Spirit taking the damage. Shadow Shaman getting forced back, and they do give themselves only 1 kill in the Faceless Void. Lich, the last one to chase. It looks like Ogre Magi might be able to find himself a stun. The creep is scouting on the backside of Ascend. They're trying to go for the further pick off, and they get the double kill on Lich. The Frostbot's a little bit too strong. Ember Spirit, he goes down. He should be going down here at the end of the day. Puck is a little bit too evasive for him. He officially dies. And that's going to be it. So Sad getting the better of that engagement. They lose their Lone Druid, but they gain so much more. They gain so much more. Now Invoker going to go toe-to-toe with Finn. You don't want Finn to die right now. He's in pretty nice. He has quite a bit of reliable gold. Or sorry, quite a bit of unreliable gold. You do not... Actually, wait. Darn it, just have to move. Yeah, 12k unreliable gold. You don't want to lose that. Pretty huge deal. And we see the mid tower did get denied, which is nice. And for anybody wondering, wait, hold on, before we talk about that, we got team fight about to happen. Faceless Void comes forward. The Chronosphere catches 2. Will be able to get himself a kill on top of both of these people. Disruptor has a glimpse available because Puck, why not? Because Puck you. And it looks like Puck gonna go ahead and try to run away. The glimpse comes through, and Puck still doesn't have the cooldown available for her orb yet. So it might be a little bit waste on top of the orb. It looks like Shadow Shaman gonna be around the corner waiting for the backlines. Drops the zap. She goes down. Pew pew. That's what he says. Lasers are OP. Please nerf. And this is gonna turn into a push right now. So F Logic gonna go ahead and just get as many pushes as they possibly can. Shadow Shaman and Surfer Wards are available. This is right when you want to push, when they don't have their initiator, their Puck available. And Finn's still trying to go for the farm. I want to say his next item is going to be the Blink Dagger. It's probably the most logical thing for him to get. Meanwhile, Lone Druid does get scouted out. They do see his farming Ancients. I don't know if he sees him running around the corner, but he's going to back away. And his bear, oh no, they're going to pull him into the middle of the fight. Looks like they're going to go for it. Lone Druid all by himself, his bear and himself all alone. Lone Druid trying to get a few abilities, does get a Tornado Stick, and here comes everything just blowing him up. He goes down, the bear falls as well. Tower will be going down as well. Just find you, kill your Ancients, kill your tower, just take all your stuff. And I don't know if they're going to save the Surfer Wars for tier 3. Oh yeah, they're going to try to push high ground with this. Nice, well played. Do keep in mind that Lich ulti is available though, so you need to be very careful. Shadow Shaman has his ulti available. Meanwhile, Sven drops his ulti. He's gonna go and blink into the middle of the fight, trying to get some damage. He will be able to find himself a wild Ember Spirit. Shadow Shaman commits to Serpent Wars, and here comes the damage on top of whoever that was. The nice, beautiful Disruptor ulti stopping all the other shenanigans from happening. Ember Spirit 2 is still trying to juke around the corner, but not able to go to the low ground. Does officially go down, just a little bit short on the pathing. Speaking of being short on the pathing, Sven a little bit short on the mana. He's trying to go toe-to-toe with Disruptor. Does get the kill, and then, oh my gosh, whoever this is does get pulled back to the fight. Basically, forced to stand and fight like a man, and Sven trying to force him down like a man. Gonna be getting hit with the Bloodlust. The damage is gonna be real right now. He has the roar available, gonna go and drop the roar, and Faces Void getting himself some gold before he goes down. Meanwhile, Ogre Magic gets picked off by the by the Invoker. Well played, and looks like the last person does die. Double kill coming towards us. Double kill going towards the Sven. Man, tongues are so tied right now. So crazy. Alright, so overall just a fantastic fight. Overall just a fantastic fight for Sad. They did still lose ground, and oh my gosh, Shadow Shaman is still over here? What, bro? Has no TP scroll. And this courier is trying to bring in the TP scroll. He's microing the courier as best as he possibly can. This courier still might die though. It's gonna send him all the way to trees, taking the longest path possible. Open shortest path first is what he said. OSPF. So that courier is gonna be taking a long flight. And, oh my gosh, ooh, so close. Sven almost got it out. Bottom tower will be going down though. Oh, shoot. There we go.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, so Shadow Shaman will be able to TP out of here safe. So Operation Black Hawk down is officially in queue. And the courier going to be taking the long path back home. Meanwhile, we got pings coming down bottom on top of the Lone Druid, who is working towards what looks to be a Vladimir's offering, eventually. He has about 3k gold saved up, so he is working on the Radiance right now, but Vlad's, that Basilius can turn into a Vlad's here. Looks like they're going to find the Lone Druid. He's still getting scouted out. He's farming the jungle. Might be getting caught off for being a little bit greedy. And he's going to force himself back. The Roar for the bear is available. Invoker has a Blink Dagger available, so he's going to come through. The Roar does come in. And now the bear and crew will be able to get out of there. So nicely played. Shadow Shaman just a little bit slow in that blink. And he also has a Blink Dagger too, so that's another thing to pick up for Shadow Shaman. So one thing I've learned through all my games of playing Shadow Shaman is that you absolutely need a Blink Dagger to be useful. It's like night and day. Like, you know, Shadow Shaman's a mediocre support who has a really nice stun if you can channel it long enough, and hopefully you don't die, and you can drop that ulti off before you do die, if you do die. But overall, once you get a Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman, it just makes him so much more effective. It's just like night and day, definitely night and day. You can basically just blink forward, get all kinds of shackles, get all kinds of chickens, maybe get a gank that you wouldn't have normally gotten, because people can kite Shadow Shaman relatively well, because he's just so damn slow. So Blink Dagger, extremely important on top of Shadow Shaman, so that's one item that's good to have. Invoker also has a Blink Dagger, so you can actually get those blink engagements on top of Lone Druid. And speaking of which, he's actually pinging Lone Druid, so Mio wants that kill. Forge Spirits are scouting things out, pushing the waves. And we got rotations coming in from nobody. Looks like the Dire, 2 people for the Dire hanging out mid. And we got Sven still farming up some big items on the top. He's working on, I don't know what he's working on, but might be an A-Blade, might be a Basher, could be BKB. Possibly a BKB. There's a lot of control on F-Logic's side. The Shadow Shaman specifically is reason enough to get a BKB this game. You know, Sven and crew, they do see the Ember Spirit. He's going to be coming forward. Ogre Magi is right around the back, so they do have the follow-up stun. Sven going to go drop the ulti, drops the stun. They're going to go for the right click. Ogre Magi going to follow up the stun, but he doesn't need it. The damage is there. Ember Spirit just melts to the damage on this Sven guy. Holy crap. Hidden for what? What's that? Jesus, 400 damage. For a right click. Now face what? Oh, the Chrono Spear whiffs completely, and now, oh man, Sven's gonna have a field day right now. Gonna be taking quite a bit of damage though, so he will be eating all the damage. Shadow Shaman drop or committing the Serpent Wards. The chicken's not gonna be enough though, and looks like they are gonna be off on the Ogre Magi. Shackles falling through on top of Shadow Shaman. They do get the kill on top of both of those for Ember Spirit. Yeah, considering the Ember Spirit didn't go for the Butcher's Travel build, yeah, I think it wasn't worth it. He lost his Sven for Ember Spirit, who's not split pushing. He is going for more of the Battle Fury, just being involved in the team fights, help out the Deathball meta. And speaking of helping out with Deathball meta, we got Puck in a lot of trouble. She's gonna be forced to stick herself so she can stay alive. Lich dropping the ulti, gonna be able to get some abilities bouncing around the corner. Unfortunately, Faces Void ulti is not available, and Lich ulti not as effective as you want to be. Gonna go and still eat a creep and slow down some people down. Think Shadow Shaman has an ability, but he doesn't. Just has a right click. Mana Boost's gonna be available here soon. Faces Void has a first hit bash because why not? And Bash Lord is real. Looks like the damage will be there. Lich will be falling down. And Butcher Travel do officially come up on top of the Invoker. Radiant's almost finished up by the Lone Druid. He's a little ways away from that, about 14k gold away. Oh, I lied. He has it right now. My bad, guys. I thought he just got the relic. Hey, look, looks like he had that for a while. So take a look at the net worth. Sven is still at the top of the charts, so having him die is always a bad thing. But at the end of the day, if he can stay high and get higher overall, then he'll be fantastic. He'll be fine. I do still think he needs a BKB. I'm not sure what he's saving up so much gold for. I don't know if Sven Radiance is a thing, but maybe he's going for Radiance? Question mark? LOL, JK. Yeah, Sven gonna go and just farm all this stuff because he can. Left for creep alive. I'm a little ashamed. I'm a little offended too. And Tisho is actually working on an Aghanim Scepter. So this is gonna be a supportive, initiating Faceless Void. I do hope we see a Blink Dagger. I do still think a Blink Dagger Faceless Void is absolutely necessary if you want to be an initiator. Faceless Void's Time Walk, I mean, you kind of want to use it to escape. It's kind of like the same concept as Puck, where Puck has a way she can blink in by herself, but it's so obvious that you just don't want to use it. Instead, you want to blink in and then orb out, or blink in and Faceless Void's case, Time Walk out. Anyway, Invis Rune does get picked up by Disruptor, and he's going to be able to scout out the team for a few moments. The Smoke to See does get revealed immediately. Nobody has a Dustful Appearance. It's a very awkward series of events. And they're pinging something. They're saying, hey, Faceless Void. Hey, people are farming. I know it's happening. So they do back away. Meanwhile, 26 happening. We got Faceless Void. Or sorry, Invoker trying to get some damage on top of whoever this is. He's going to be able to drop the Deafening Blast. I don't know if he's going to be able to make this one live. Blink was almost available. Could have Blunk away here in a second. It looks like he's not going to be able to get it. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman drops the Surfing Wolves on top of the Sven, who actually does get hit with the damage. And now we got, speaking of damage, Shadow Shaman actually not able to get the full Shackle up because of sounds from Puck. Here's the Disruptor dropping the ulti. BKB getting popped by Sven. He's going straight in. Gets the stun on top of 2. Does so much damage right now. Just racking everything. Who needs damage when you have this much cleave, bro? Gonna be able to farm himself some Surfing Wolves as well for the extra gold. 35 gold to Gryffindor. But it's okay, guys. I'm a helpful buff. And that BKB plus Sven ult just wrecked everybody. It was like 3 or 4 swipes. And Sven just did so much damage. 2k damage done. That's ridiculous. This is why I love watching Sven play, because he just does so much damage for no reason. And if you ever get a Daedalus on him, oh dear god. Now granted, he did kill Invoker and, or sorry, Ember Spirit and Shadow Shaman, which are basically support levels of health. So not that much health between the two of them, but it's still really impressive to see all the damage go through. Speaking of damage go through, down bottom we got Lone Druid trying to go toe-to-toe with whoever this is. He dies. What's new? Nothing. That's right, top tower is taking some damage. Let's go ahead and focus on that. Sven and Puck should be able to claim themselves a Rax. Invoker's here available. He has no Tornado, just EMP Meatball. He actually blinks forward. Might be able to find himself a kill on top of Puck. No, Puck orbs out just in time. So with Aghanim Scepter available on Faceless Void, I'm really concerned because I think in any game that you play in with Faceless Void, you definitely need yourself instead of Aghanim Scepter, I think you definitely need a Blink Dagger before that. But the Ags will allow him to have a 60-second cooldown on his ulti, which is great. So like I said, they're kind of treating him like a Magnus in some sense, where he just jumps in, drops chrono. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But I'm of the thought process that if you want a Magnus, then get a Magnus. Faceless Void has some really good sustainability in the off lane, so he has an easier off lane than Magnus. Whereas Magnus, you know, instead of just being able to just juke back and pop some regen, Faceless Void just basically jukes back and gets regen at the same time. So his Time Walk is really, really strong for that. But all said and done, with most of the compositions I've seen Faceless Void in, they've been relatively okay, where people go for ranged abilities, which is good. I think that's what you should do. But I think in some lineups like this one, it might benefit them more if they got a Magnus, because they can get the Empower on... Oh, actually, never mind. They don't need... Yeah, they can get the Empower on top of Ember Spirit, so he has an easier time actually getting some farm. Actually has an easier time getting damage. Faceless Void offers to his team just another ability. Time Dilation is really good versus Invoker. That's really what it boils down to. Anyway, so they find themselves a few people. They're going to go and jump in. Ogre Magi are going to scout it out around the corner, and they do blink forward. Ogre Magi are going to get blown up. And speaking of getting blown up, Lone Druid, he's going to be getting blown up here. Takes all the damage in the world, and then Shadow Shaman did commit the Surfing Wards. They are just barely in range of the tower. So get themselves 2 kills and a tower. Feeling very happy about that. Meanwhile, Roshan's getting beat the crap up. Puck is going to go ahead and immediately come in here, try to help him out. I don't know if they scouted it out, but they're saying, hey, get Roshan, go down bottom. The gank did kill the Lone Druid, so that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. And if we take a look at the net worth of the teams, we can see that SAD only have about a 2.5k advantage. They did have quite a bit of it until they lost a few team fights, and at least they got Rosh, so SAD should be holding to something more. But they did lose basically 2 successive towers and also 2 successive heroes. For the price of Roshan and potentially a bottom tower. This should be a bottom tower. It has a Hyperstone, so I think AC. AC for Spin.
Radiant's bottom
Yep,
tower
Assault Cuirass for
has
Spin is probably going to be the next big item. Taking a look at the rest of the items, I heard a few Glimmer Capes get used up, and Shadow Shaman and Disruptor both collect if we have one. So very good item for supports, especially supports like Shadow Shaman and Disruptor, or especially supports like Disruptor, who doesn't have a escape mechanism. It's either that or a Force Staff, and I like the fact that he did go for the Glimmer Cape. It does give him the additional resistance versus Lich ult. It also gives him the additional resistance versus Puck, all of Puck's abilities pretty much. So at the very least they can stay alive because of all that. But all is said and done though, Force Staff, Force Staff wouldn't have been as good. Definitely Glimmer Cape. I like Glimmer Cape a lot better than Force Staff. Moving on to the other side of the supports, we have Lich, who has a mechanism working on the Aghanim Scepter. So he's sitting pretty nice and farmed right now. Speaking of Aghanim Scepters, Ogre Magi has a whole entire Aghanim Scepter already. I don't know where the hell he got that farm from, but he somehow has it. So Sad sitting pretty well on that one. Gonna be able to have the double stun, so he can actually get the chain stun stop Ember Spirit by himself and just help his team out with all the kills. And I'm just wondering what the next big item for Lone Druid is.
middle tower may need a hand.
Okay, looks like he has the Vladimir's Offering, working on a Pipe of Insight, and maybe, I don't know. So we got the middle tower getting threatened pretty darn hard. Lone Druid and crew gonna go ahead and push in. This will be basically a free tower. And Sven and crew are ready to fight. They have Aegis. They have Aegis somewhere. Who has Aegis? Puck has Aegis. So Puck has Aegis. Now they're going for the racks. Sven's going to all in. He's doing as much damage as possible. They need to drop the Disruptor ulti immediately, but looks like they're not going to drop it. They're still going to wait. And Puck actually blinks around the corner. She actually gets the ability on top of the Disruptor. Disruptor drops a Glimmer Cape. Going to be able to keep himself alive. Nice shackles from Shadow Shaman. The roar from the Lone Druid Bear is going to force him back though. And now Face the Void drops a Chronosphere. Going to be able to cut himself a whole entire Sven. He might be able to get the kill. Lich ulti is going to be bouncing around though. It's going to be a little bit dangerous because Invoker did get caught inside of that. And now Shadow Shaman following up with the secondary shackle. Sven does go down. Puck still alive, has not died just yet. The whole entire team is just basically ignoring her. And Puck will be just backing away, taking a little bit more damage. Has a blink here in another, what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 12 seconds? I lied. Just used it and gonna be able to back away. Oh, the Deafening Blast a little bit too loud for you, bro. And Shadow Shaman following up with the shackle, just being as obnoxious as possible. Gonna be able to hold down the Puck long enough, and Puck can actually blink out of here as soon as she comes back in. He's be very careful. Drops out the ability. Waiting, or phase shift comes through, and the blink, and the orb. And the tornado from Invoker. Oh no, the tornado lasts too long. Puck is gonna be going down for a second time. Drops your own tornado, and she will be going down. Force Staff's around the corner. Just so damn invasive. Finally, Puck does go down. Almost able to escape out of that one. That'd have been basically a magical trick at that point. Yeah, Lone Druid is going for the Pipe of Insight. Just a lot of magic nukes coming out from F Logic. Considering Invoker is going for more of the tornado stick type Invoker, working on the Aghanim Scepter, trying to be a little bit more respectful towards all the magic damage. So Sad are trying to tank up their people. I think that's why Lone Druid is going for the pipe instead of going for the AC right now. But speaking of AC though, Sven has a full AC finished up, so I guess maybe that's the reason why, because we already have an AC. Why would I go for an AC too? Trying to coordinate them items though. We have a Ghost Scepter finished up by Shadow Shaman, so that's going to help him out a lot. Versus the Sven. And speaking of helping out a lot, we got the Bear taking quite a bit of damage. Invoker's around the corner. They're going to try to get some damage. And it looks like Shadow Shaman is going to be all by himself. Invoker, I don't know if he got scouted out because of that fire. Looks like he will be able to Glimmer Cape away though. And Pipe of Insight fully finished up. Ogre Magi not able to get the stun. Dust of Appearance gets used, and there's the tornado. Invoker's going to continue to go for the fight. Shadow Shaman has the Serpent Wards, and he also has the Shackles available. Lone Druid's Bear is not going to be able to make this one alive. I don't think so. They have damage necessary for this. Looks like the chicken gets used on top of the bear. Damage gets used. Oh my gosh, the damage is massive. Shadow Shaman gets blown the freak up. And now we got Sven showing up. Drops out the stun. He's a man right now, but he gets glimpsed away. Drops a BKB. Says, you cannot resist me, bro. And we got the Glimmer Cape getting used on top of Face's Void. He's going to try to run out of there. Does officially go down. Nope, not dead just yet. Just being evasive. Gonna be able to stop the stun from Sven for another 12 seconds. A huge deal. He has a time walk available. Gonna be able to time walk around the other side. Teachwell still continuing to be annoying, and Puck has a silence here in another 8 seconds time. And jeez, are you kidding me? Jeez, that junk lasts so long. I think they have the glimpse. Puck is gonna be forced back, and there's Face's Voice still running away, just being as evasive as possible. And he makes it out of there. Spin still around the corner. Oh no, the spin stun coming in. Well played. Link Sphere gets used on the wrong person. Probably should have used on Disruptor, but hey, who cares? Everybody's able to make it alive, and the Glimmer Cape is going to end. Disruptor going to go drop his ulti. Needs to drop his ulti. Doesn't drop his ulti. Instead, drops his death. Drops his life on the ground. My life for ire is what he's saying right now. Pipe of Insight getting used up by Lone Druid. And Face's Voice Chronosphere coming through. Going to be able to catch the Lone Druid, but the bear is somehow not caught. So it will be enough to force him back. And that's one whole Chronosphere used for that. So Lone Druid able to get some farm on his bear and just be fine. His whole entire team's behind him too. So they're ready to do this. They want to push this tier 3 tower. We have Invoker. He did go down a little while ago, and we got Teamfight about to break out here very soon. Ember Spirit trying to do what he can to help these guys, force these guys back. Shadow Shaman using the chick on top of Puck. Puck does get shackled up. If they can get some follow-up damage, it will be great. Looks like they dropped the ability. Puck has Orb available still, though. And Lich ult's gonna go and bounce around. And it does go away. And they forced a buyback. They forced a buyback out of, who did they force a buyback out of? Disruptor. So yeah, Disruptor bought back into that game, so they can help defend. So once again, another economy hit. Heck yeah, things I talked about last time. So sad, still have a heavy hold onto that gold graph. The XP graph, not so much. I mean, still a sizable advantage. Can't discount that advantage at all. And I'm moving to the rest of the items though. We have Puck with Boosted Travel plus those strength or plus those power treads. Trying to go for the double boot strat because you know Puck has 2 feet or 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. I don't know, 10 feet. Puck has a bunch of feet. That's all I know. That's all I know. What's happening? Hold on. Okay. Alright, so anyway, we got to fight. We got to fight. Continue around the backside. We got Pocket dropping the orb and crew. I heard Ember Spirit use the field abilities. The bears just being forced back a little bit. And the control for Shadow Shaman is really nice for this bear. It looks like they might be able to drop it. They do drop the shackles on top of the bear, so he will be able to get the full shackle charge on top of that. They need to kill the bear though. Looks like Facebook is trying to get as much damage as possible. Puck gonna blink forward, catches a few people. Shadow Shaman dropping the Ghost Scepter. Gonna go ahead and TP out while he can. And now Puck, oh man, the fight's breaking out big right now. Sven popping that BKB, gonna go for the fight. Dropped a beautiful ulti, catching 2. And Ogre Magic trying to run away, but looks like it's not gonna be enough. They're going for the damage. Invoker taking so much damage from Sven. And now the right click is all he really needs. Looks like damage is massive right now. This is gonna be Shadow Shaman going immediately down. And this Rax will be claimed by the likes of Sven. And Booker's still trying to come around the corner, just trying to poke at him, pick at him, prod at him a little bit, maybe even kill him every once in a while. But Sven's still all on top of him, just all over him. He's not getting kited this game right now, but he's getting hit with the meatball. He might be taking the fall here, taking quite a bit of damage. He gets forced out forward by the Puck, and Puck actually blinks in. They're going to continue to be annoying. Sven has a blink here in another 3 seconds time once the Iron Shadow stops ticking. And he and crew are going to go back away. Sven actually blinks. He actually wanted to go back in. I think he uses blink there. He's going to go straight in on top of the Disruptor. Disruptor not going to be able to get the kill. Puck's still here, being annoying as possible. Ember Spirit not having the best of times right now. Going to be able to drop himself some shackles and some damage. Sven almost able to kill the Ember Spirit. Now Ember Spirit going to be going down. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay, he makes it out. And oh no, Puck. Come on, Puck. You can do it. Yes, Puck does get the kill. Ember Spirit does go down, and Sans is happening. We're basically playing freaking Overthrow. Meanwhile, all that was happening, all the Raxes have been going down. I've been focused on that because this is more interesting. We got people going down. Invoker, he does officially fall. Smoking Deceit gets used. Mega Creeps are inside of Sad Gaming. Sad Gaming have officially won the game. They do have Mega Creeps, and I don't think it's really a way F Logic can actually win back into this one. And they do go ahead and tap out. They call it GG. Intense stuff! Intense stuff! And that's gonna be it. Alright, so that was an interesting game. Of course, Dota is Dota. That just boiled down to just really, I mean, the lineup for Sad just got so strong so fast. Sven has such a beautiful start that F Logic couldn't really do anything to actually counter it. So that's going to be it for that game, guys. My name's CulBlu. Brought you guys the second game in the JDL that I'm going to be casting for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and definitely feel free to go check me out on my other channels, which is youtube.com/CulBluDota. That's CulBluDota. You can also check me out on my Twitch when I live stream, which is twitch.tv/CulBlu. That's CulBlu. And that's really it. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you guys whenever.